alone of all the countries in the world, we never had a definition of ourselves. There was never such a thing as a United Kingdom citizen. Unlike the United States, which has its own citizenship, France, Germany, we never had that. We were British subjects. We were subjects of the king or the queen, as the case might be. Consequently, as the British dominions expanded, automatically, everybody was born in or belonged to any part of the British dominions. Hundreds of millions of human beings were all British subjects. And in the law of this country, there was never any distinction between one British subject and another. There was no way of labeling the British subject who, if I may use the word, belonged to this country. Now, this was, had many advantages when Britain was the center of an empire. And if the numbers from the rest of the empire who availed themselves of this identification remained small, then no problem arose. But the rest of the empire had its own citizenships. An Englishman wasn't allowed to go and settle in India or Jamaica. On the contrary, they had their own very strict demarcations and definitions. And now, after the Second World War, there was a big technical revolution that took place, and that was air travel, which made the movement of masses of people from one continent to another possible on a scale which had never been contemplated before. As a result of that, there moved into the United Kingdom growing numbers of British subjects from the rest of the, well, it was by now the Commonwealth, it had ceased to be the empire, who had no other connection than that with this country, with the United Kingdom. Now, it wasn't that this was asked for. It wasn't that these people were brought in as labor, like the movement of labor on the continent. It happened because without a major change in our law, it couldn't be prevented